Is your to-do list longer than your day? And do you wish there were 48 hours instead of 24 hours in a day? Let's dive into the world of stress and see how we can cope in a chaotic world. Yeah, welcome back to another episode on Ask the Medic. I am Iya the Medic, and today we are going to be discussing stress. Now, stress is a topic that everybody talks about. We all experience stress at some point in our lives. Either it has to do with work, it has to do with family, it has to do with relationships, it has to do with even religion, okay? So at every point in time, everybody is stressed. Somebody wishes that they had more hours in a day so that they could complete all their activities. And because they don't have more hours, they are usually stressed, they are worried, they are anxious. Now we ask ourselves, how do we deal with stress? But before we even jump into that, we need to understand that there are types of stress. And if you know the types of stress, you can find coping mechanisms for each of the types, right? So the very first type we talk about is what we call acute stress. So in acute stress, it is very short term, right? So maybe for a brief period, you are worried and anxious about something, and then you can go back to your normal state after a few hours or maybe a day, right? Then there is chronic stress, where you are constantly stressed. So day in, day out, you are stressed. Now, when we look at chronic stress, the issue with stress is that stress puts our body in a particular mode. We call it the fight or flight mode, where you are either ready to fight whatever challenge you are faced with, or you are ready to run away from it, right? Now, the brain is wired such that when you are in this fight or flight mode, there are a lot of hormones that are coming in. The adrenaline is coming in, cortisol is coming in, all these hormones coming to manage the stress and help you deal with the situation, right? However, these hormones have various side effects. And so some people would have sleepless nights, some people will have headaches, some people will be having even digestive problems. So some people will have diarrhea just because they are stressed, okay? And some women will have hormonal imbalances. It would surprise you to find out that stress can even lead to infertility. Yes, because it causes hormonal imbalance in women. And so if a woman is constantly stressed over and over again, she can have so much hormonal imbalance that it can actually make her infertile because she cannot conceive, right? And so it's very important that once you know that you're exposed to stress, you now ask yourself, what can you do to make the stress better? Now, like I said, if the stress is very acute, it means that whatever is causing the stress is happening in a very short time. So you need to find out, how can I deal with this situation? Do I need help? I always say that it is very, very, very important to get help whenever you think you need help. A lot of people try to deal with situations all on their own. Well, God puts all of us in a society. He puts all of us in a family for a reason, right? And so whenever you are stressed and you need help, please get help. Somebody may just be the antidote you need to, relieve your stress. And then if it is chronic stress, then we need to now look at the factors leading to the stress. Is it your job? Is it a relationship? Is it family issues? Then we need to now tackle the underground issues. So if it is your job and you think it is too much stress for you and you can't find another job, I know it is difficult to find work in Ghana and Africa generally, but if you can do something else, your health is very, very important. So you may want to switch your job if you can, right? And if you can't switch your job, then you need to now find ways to cope or adjust to the stress that you are dealing with. If it is proper time management, if it is delegating some of the tasks to other people so that you are able to function at your full capacity, okay? If it's relationship issues, if you need counseling, if you need to see therapists, you do that. Or sometimes you just need to have a sit down with your partner and converse. And if that is not working and you think that you need to take a walk from the relationship, of course, you need to take a walk if that is going to give you mental sanity, right? Now, for other coping mechanisms of stress generally, we can talk about the deep breathing exercises that we know about, okay? So if you jump online right now, you'd find a lot of samples on deep breathing exercises. Some people too would do meditation. Okay, some people would do yoga, it works for them. Some people would also go on to exercise, because it has been shown that when you are doing these activities, there's a center in the brain called the reward center. We also call it the mesolimbic pathway, okay? So the mesolimbic pathway works in such a way that there are hormones that are released when you're doing this activity. So your serotonins, your dopamines are all coming in when you are doing these activities. And then they give you the feeling of excitement and reinforcement. So you want to continue doing these things, and then they can help you relieve your stress. And sometimes you just need to get a good rest. Okay, just get a good rest. So we all know that we are supposed to sleep at least 6 to 8 hours. Well, let me shock you. Even for women, we are supposed to be sleeping about 8 to 10 hours. We'll talk about the reason why women need more sleep than men in another video. But just remember that you need to get a lot of sleep and you need to relax your mind as much as you can. I hope that you've learned something about stress today and you've learned how to cope with your stress, even in this chaotic world that we find ourselves. I'm going to see you again on another episode of Ask the Medic. I am Iya the Medic, and I'm signing out.